So I'm gonna discuss a closed-end fund regarding its rights offering that's occurring and how I'm going to be trading it. I'm not going to get into the merits of the company. I will show you total returns and historical performance, stuff like that. Anyway, there's a rights offering going on with HYT, which is a high yield fund from BlackRock. It's set to expire January 23rd. It's ongoing right now. And we just had a dividend date with HYT also, where it pays out like 7 cents a month, I believe. So the price is going down. During rights offerings, it starts dropping in price because they're basically offering, I think, 95% to NAV or something like that. And if you're a shareholder, you could buy for every 5 shares you own, you get to buy a share during the rights offering. Anyway, during the last rights offering back in October 2022, when the rights offering began around October 3rd of 2022, the share price was at 862. And during the course of the rights offering, just around the expiration of it, I think it was October 14th, it bottomed out around 815, and then it did a V-shaped recovery more or less. Actually, yeah, V-shaped recovery. You look at the share price in October 3rd at 862. By October 28th, it recovered to 871. So keeping in mind that this is actually kind of a trading opportunity on a high dividend yielding closed-end fund. And you can take advantage of rights offering that way to catch the bottom during the rights offering phase. So the bottom is results. Final price is 823. That's what it says there, but I'm showing 815 on this chart, so I don't know which one to go by. But yeah, 815 is what I'm showing on here. Now, if you look at HYT's worst drawdown in history back in '08 during the big great financial crisis episode, it was down 56.95%. The current drawdown is down currently at 5%. Look at the historical performance on it. It's done pretty well for the most part. It's had its drawdowns like in '08. Everything drew down in '08. 2022, because the interest rates, going up, it pulled back 22.69%. And this year, I think it's at 1% and it's basically flat. Now, if you had invested since inception $10,000 into this fund, you'd have $54,899 now. The fund inception was 2003. So the overall return is 449%. Analyzed, that comes out almost 8%, around the 8% mark, I guess. And you're looking at that chart. So it's had positive returns. Now, maybe not so much on the share price, but the current 2025 comparison to the 2022 offering. Back in 2022, they were offering one share for every 3 share that you own if you were a current shareholder, and you would get a 95%. You would get basically you would only have to pay 95% of whatever the market price was for each share that you were eligible to buy. During the offering, HYT pulled back a grand total of 7%. It's not huge, but it is a discount. And right now in this current offering, they're offering one share for every 5 shares owned and the same kind of discount as far as 95% of market price. It's dropped between 4 and 5% so far. So I started adding shares of this. I'm starting to buy shares. The yield on it's pretty decent. And, looking at it, it's had a pretty good return. So I like that return on it. Now, if we're going to look at a chart on it real fast and see where we were in October that year, where we had their last rights offering, you can see. Let's draw this differently. There we go. Well, I don't know. That's at $6. So it's my chart, guys. Anyway, if you look at it now, it's starting to pull back during this rights offering. So I don't know where it's going to end up. It's contingent upon the market conditions too, but it's going to get a discount all the way until probably the 23rd, where it'll probably bottom out in the last day of the rights offering. So I added like 20 shares. I'm going to load up maybe 100 to 200 shares all the way through toward the end of the rights offering, just for the 23rd or around the 23rd. So that's how I'm going to trade it. Let's look at the yield real quick. So the yield on this is listed here on Webull at 10.39% for HYT. Now we could look at past distributions real quick. So looking at it, pays a monthly distribution of 7 cents. So let's see if that's gone up or down in the past. Been around since '03, so I'd have to scroll forever to see that. But yeah, it's pretty consistently paying that 7 cents. You look at it, so. And they had a special distribution in December 29th. I think they just had a special distribution. Yeah, well, it looks like they only had just the one. They might have another distribution this month. Uh, they don't always, but if they have a little extra money in the coffers that they have to distribute, they'll issue a secondary distribution. No guarantee. Anyway, I'm just playing the rights offering. Um, the company's not done bad at all as far as total returns over its lifetime, so I've decided to go ahead and try to spin the rights offering into at a minimum, a swing trade, if not just go ahead straight out buy and hold dollar cost average during the course of this rights offering. And the important dates to remember: January 23rd. That's when the thing ends. All right, guys, take care. Bye.